Hello and welcome back to my channel. Congratulations folks, we are back to the irregularly scheduled nonsense. Yay! Some of you may be asking, hey, weren't you meant to post a video on the 30th and you didn't? No, I didn't. I have my reasons for that. You guys don't need to know them. Anyway though, we are hopefully back to doing normal videos, and this week I have a little video about what I did in January, because I've had a very fun January, haven't I, Nico? He doesn't care. So I pretty much spent most of January at the theatre. I know what you're thinking, we can't go to the theatre, but no, I have been to a live theatre stream. So some of you may know about Mischief Theatre. If you don't, quick explanation, they are the guys behind The Play That Goes Wrong, and I am a little bit obsessed with them. But basically, before the new year, and I went to a couple of the shows before the new year, they started doing live theatre streams of Mischief Movie Night In, which is a live improvised movie that they were doing each evening. And they did 9 shows in January, and I went to all of them. They're doing more in February, which I'm very excited about. As I went to all 9 shows, I have decided to rank them. And before I get into this, I'm just gonna say, none of them were bad. Somebody had to come last, but it was the worst of the best. They were all amazing and I had a very fun time. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. So shall we get into it, Miko? He remains uninterested. Let's go. Look at me. Made notes and everything. Miko doesn't care. It's because the notebook has other cats on it. I'm sorry, Miko. Come back. We've retrieved the baby. Whether he stays, I do not know. You gonna stay? He's gonna stay, okay. The notebook wasn't too offensive. Anyway. At number 9. Oh, I won't slam the book, I'm so sorry. At number 9, we have Thursday night's film, A Cop in the Ocean. I have no real reason for why this one came last, it was just someone had to come last. If you can't tell, it was a buddy cop film. I really enjoyed it, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. The invisible horse was just magical, but unfortunately somebody had to come last and it had to be this one. I just felt some of the other films, as we go on in the list you'll kind of see, I just felt they had a bit more to offer. So I did love this film, but unfortunately somebody had to come last. Hi! So next up we have number 8, which was Friday night's show, High Tide School. I really went back and forth, I'll be honest, between 9, 8 and 7, like I kept sort of switching them around. I decided ultimately between the 3. There was just certain elements in each one which I think propelled them slightly above the other. For example, High Tide School, if you can't guess from the title, was about a flood in a high school. The things that were within this that I think sort of put it above A Cop in the Ocean were the fact that there was a man who definitely does not have 7 ducks in a trench coat. And there was also a song. We will get to the song later though. So coming in at number 7 was a film which just had slightly more to give, I think, than these other two. Again, also, because I didn't say, High Tide School, 10 out of 10. These are all 10 out of 10, let's just get that out of the way. But at number 7, we have the final show from Sunday night, Light Over the Rocks, which was the story of an up-and-coming rock band. And what did this film have over the other two, you may ask? Well, Chesney Hawkes. Do I need to say any more? Yes, Chesney Hawkes was a very big influence in this film, and it was beautiful. It also featured a variety of bands, not just our main one, the Knights of Light, who were spectacular. It featured some throat singers, and my personal favourite, Tommy Tambourine. It was magical, and I really enjoyed it, and it was a great end to the week of shows, and I was very sad for it all to be over. However, unfortunately, it did not make it higher than 7 on the list. Like I said, these were all great. and it was very hard to make this. Well, the top 3 was quite easy because I had definitive favourites. The bottom half of this list was very hard because they were all amazing. So we go on now to number 6, which was, again, a Sunday show, and it was the matinee, and it was The Wizard of Paddington Station. So The Wizard of Paddington Station was a Disney film. Key characters in this one were the bins and the train tickets. I just thought they were magical. There were some great songs in this one. Now, I love a Disney film, so it's shocking to me that this came in 6th. But again, like the others, it was 10 out of 10. And there was some more that I liked a little bit more. So now, we come into our top 5. And these are some very... Miko! He doesn't... Hold on, we're going to deal with the cat. Well, we don't need this anymore. He has left. Oh well, seeing as we have taken that little cat break though, we're going to go on to a slightly separate list. Favourite songs. Now I loved all of these and I could not rank them, so we just simply have one favourite and a bunch of like my other favourite-ish. Also, if Mischief would like to release an album with all of these songs on it, I would pay a lot of money for that. Anyway, so here are the songs that stood out to me. So, from Careless Whispers, the first show of the week, I loved the opening and I loved Take a Second Look. They kind of permanently stuck in my brain. They're great. We had from High Tide School, we had the Sea Shanty. Again, it lives permanently on repeat in my brain. I loved it with all of my heart. We have from Now Museum, Now You Don't. We have He's an Easily Convinced Man, alternative title, The Dan and Tom Rap. None of these have actual titles, so I've just made this up. From Light Over the Rocks, we have the title song, Light Over the Rocks, also the grand finale, which was great. Also from Now Museum, Now You Don't, special mention to the How to Wash the Windows song. It was great. We'll get onto that in a bit. And then we have from The Wizard of Paddington Station. My god, I'm losing my mind. We have The Trains Are Late and Beware of the Wizards. They were all great and I totally love these songs. However, I do have one very, very favourite of all the songs. That didn't make any sense. I have a favoritist song. I don't know what I'm saying. My favourite song though of all the songs was from Suicide Squid, and it was the Pogo Restaurant song. It was a masterpiece, both lyrically and visually, and then big shout out as well to the musicians for the show because they improvised music for every single show and it was incredible, and you would have thought it had been rehearsed. It was incredible. They did such a great job, as did all the tech teams. Like, I'm amazed. I was amazed by all of these shows. It was fantastic. Anyway, back to our top 5. So, coming in at number 5, we had our show from the first Sunday in the run, and it was The Primary Caped Crusader. It was a time travel superhero origin story. I think this one is so high, mostly because of Vivian the Goblin, who was just magic, and the high five at the end it brought a tear to my eye. It was beautiful and it was very funny and it was very chaotic and I really, really enjoyed that. Speaking of chaos, however, at number 4 we have Wednesday's show, Dress for Danger. I'll be honest, I don't know entirely what happened in Dress for Danger. It was a murder at the dress rehearsal for a musical and then another murder on the stage for the actual opening night of the musical, and then I think there was more murders. I'm not really sure what happened. The tree that continuously fell over onto people and made them become other people was great, like Quickfinger Jimmy and the tiger was beautiful. It was just though pure chaos and I don't quite know what I was watching, but I really enjoyed it. Now we get to the really exciting part of the list, the top 3. The top 3 was very, very hard to choose because I love them all, but you'll kind of see a theme with the top 2 and you'll probably be able to tell what my favourite type of movie is. Before we get to that though, we have in 3rd place the Suicide Squid. I mean, I've got to admit, it's probably my favourite poster. I haven't mentioned this yet. There was people on the first night who were like, we're going to improv a poster while you're doing the show. And it's like, cool. And then they did it for every night, and it's beautiful because it's given me a nice visual representation for each of these films. Yay! But anyway, the Suicide Squid, again, was somewhat chaotic, and I enjoyed that. If you haven't already guessed, considering what I mentioned my favourite song was, there was a pogo restaurant in it. It was a very, very strange movie, and I just loved it. It was great. The sort of superhero element, I put in my notes, superhero question mark movie, because the sort of superhero element got lost a bit, which is fine. I enjoyed what we got, and there was it sort of brought it back in a sense, but it was not your typical superhero movie. I loved it deeply, if you can't tell by the fact that it's at number 3. However, we now go on to our top 2, and there is a theme with these. Can you tell what my favourite type of movie is? Is it maybe a musical? Yes, considering both of these are musicals. All of them had musical elements, but these two were outright musicals. So at number 2 was the very first show from the first Saturday of the run, and it was Careless Whisper. When I decided to do this video, was all set for this to be my number 1 film, and then our actual number 1 just sort of was like, hi, I'm here, I'm what you want. But we'll get to number 1 in a second. So Careless Whisper, it was an 80s musical set in a library, and quite frankly, it was the greatest 80s musical of all time. 2 of the songs from it were on my top songs list, though I kind of enjoyed them all. There was a bulldozer in a flat, which was bizarre. There was a woman who couldn't read, who wanted to destroy the library. It was magic. And I was very sad when I went to them before the new year. I kind of heard that they were doing this, and I was like, oh, I'll go to one of the nights. I was like, when are we free? And get my whole family to watch it. So we sat down to watch it, but the night before had been the musical, and I was like, God, I missed the musical. So it was so exciting for me. First night, and it was a musical that was picked. I was like, yes! And it did not disappoint. I loved it so much. But it sadly did not make the top spot. And for those who have seen any of these, I think you will know that the top spot could be none other than Now Museum, Now You Don't. So for anyone who saw this show, I mean, it had to win. The second I saw it, I was like, wow, this might just be the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I love it so much. This show as well was done at midnight on Saturday, so technically it was done on Sunday. It was streamed at that time because this show is streamed all over the world, and there's a lot of people in like America and Australia who have to get up very early to watch it. So it's kind of more for their benefit. Ultimately it was for all of our benefit, because my god, it was magical. Now, Mischief Theatre, like I said at the start, have announced more shows, and by this point I had booked tickets for one of the shows, where I was lucky enough to get tickets for being part of the Zoom audience. So in every show the Zoom audience get to sort of throw in suggestions for where the film's going to be set, what the title is, what the genre is, and I was sat thinking to myself earlier this day, what would I suggest as a genre? And now I really like the musicals they do, I think they're great, but I was also like, do you know what, I've never seen a heist, and I think that would be fun. And then on this night, the genre that was suggested and selected was a musical heist. I mean, going into this I knew I was going to love it. It was just magical, and the chaos that comes with doing a show at midnight is... They need to do more shows at midnight because it was beautiful. I mean, I've even wrote quotes down from this one, I loved it so much. So we've got, let's get it over with, kiss me neck. And there was a subplot as well about a gold gun being nicked from someone's nan. The police officer at the start as well was beautiful. He went from cat videos to porn. It also had to be pointed out on a couple of occasions that although it was midnight in the UK, it was family time elsewhere. Remember kids, it's family time somewhere. I loved it, and then as I mentioned in my song thing, I gave an honourable, I can't speak today, I gave an honourable mention to the window washing song as one of the sort of, you also suggest with these characters that can be in it and awards that can be won, and one of the awards was like best cameo from Oscar, and during this cameo in which this beautiful How to Wash Windows song happened, there was Sweet Sweet Revenge, and then the revenge was revenged about 2 minutes later, and the fact that I was there for that moment brings me so much joy. It was pure magic. I mean, the insanity that happens at midnight is just, it's something to behold, and I love it very dearly. Yeah, I absolutely adored Now Museum, Now You Don't, and I would love to watch it again, but I never can. But yeah, like I said at the start, there is 11 more shows. I'm very excited for them. I'm not going to go to as many. She says, trying to convince herself not to go to as many. Because I've been to 11 already, because I went to, obviously, all the 9 in January. I went to 2 before the New Year. Special shout out to From Russia with Gloves and A Cat in the Habit, which featured no cats. I loved it. But yeah, I'm going to attempt to not go to as many. I've booked one. I'll probably end up going to a few of them. They're great. They're really good fun. They're only a tenner as well. So yeah, I would recommend going to them because I love them. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit obsessed. Let's grab the coffee. We'll finish the coffee. So yeah, I have had a very, very fun January, and it is entirely down to Mischief Theatre, so big thanks to them. You never know, at the end of next month I might be doing another video ranking all the February shows. I'm going to try not go to as many. I probably will. I'm very excited though for the show on the 12th, I think is the one that I've got tickets for already. That's going to be a fun one. Now that Musical Heist has been done, I have to think up some other genres that I'd like to see. I probably won't even get asked, but you know. We'll see, it's fun to be there. I'm very, very excited for it though. Yeah, I would really recommend going to see even just one of them. It's a good break from the madness and the insanity that's happening right now. I never thought I'd miss work so much, and I hate doing university online. So that's where I'm at. But anyway, hopefully next time Miko stays for the entire video. I do think he was slightly insulted by the fact that I have sushi cats on my notebook. But whatever. He just has to deal with it. Anyway, hopefully he stays for the whole of the next video. Like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. I haven't posted a proper video really since the New Year, so I hope you guys all had a good New Year, and I hope you guys had a good January, and I will see you guys next time for some more nonsense. Bye bye.